about project, which is made of thousands and thousands of activities. Everybody say that I can do my job. Everybody think that he's an expert. Everybody in his idea, this is the way I do it. I do it this way and it is always good. And unfortunately, in many cases, we can't get away with it. We do something, nobody really check, and the problem in the project, nobody can see the real problem. So this is just maybe depressing facts that so far, in the statistics says that 25% of projects only finish on time and on budget. Because 25 of them, they are abandoned before even you start them, before even you complete them. And 50% of the projects are delivered late or over budget. Can I see hands-on who has delivered project on time, on budget? Anybody delivered project? 1, 2, anybody else? 3? So out of the audience, we have only 3 or 4 people maximum, which is 10%. So if we take that sample, it's only even 10%. So this is, the question is why we are not delivering projects successfully. One of the problems with projects also is we always depend on our way of doing it, and management, they don't really check whether we're doing it right or wrong, because you consider that you have employed the right person, he knows how to do it. And maybe management are not expert in that field, so they will not be able to find the problem. So I come here to standardization. The whole idea is standardization. According to BMI, standardization is documented and communicated processes. So we document and we also communicate it, because it's important also for the people to know the way they have the way of doing things. So even if it is documented, they need to be trained. So you have documented the process, but we need to train the people on doing it. So and then they need to know and understand and get the passion and buy in this process. So it is important always to document and communicate to the people. Project standard work means, this is some definitions, just go through them quickly for people who want to know. A set of document standards exist in your business, so normally it is fit for your organization. It's inside your organization. Standards have been developed to meet your specific business needs. There is no one size fits all. It's specifically for your business. Standards are understood by project teams. As I said, it has to be understood. Applied consistently. Also, they should be monitored for continuous improvement. So you should always monitor and regularly update, review, and update them. The question comes, why don't we follow a standard? We know standard is good, standardizing is good. Why don't we follow standard? One of the answers is, we presume, we say, it's a common sense. Others say, well, I'm confident, I know how to make it. So why should I follow standard? Someone else will say, my way is better way. I mean, they're writing this, it's only papers. It's only written something, and they don't know what they're talking about. There is a lack of discipline. Priorities and shortage of resources. Sometimes you have not enough resources to follow the steps, you're in a hurry. And maybe there's anybody can suggest others? Any other reasons why we don't follow?
Assumptions, communication gaps.
Communication gaps? Others? It's good enough. So we have enough reasons to say, why don't we follow a standard? This is another question. Why we say standardization is a prerequisite to continuous improvement. Most companies fail to follow that logic, because if you want to continuously improve, you need to standardize. A lot of companies, they talk about continuous improvement, but they don't standardize, and they know the logic. And why is that? There is a lot of reasons for that. Many times we find in our world, we are always short in time. Short in time, and the shortage create us, let's go quickly. We cannot wait. So this is one of the things that we have to go quickly. And you want to have a quick gains. All the time, project manager want to show that he's doing a good job, so he wants quickly to reach something. So he could start with something, although it is not the right way of doing it. There is a distance between management, senior management, and the people who work. And this gap create this problem. Because senior management, they don't see the benefit of standardizing. The one who really feel it, the one who's working. When you have a standard and you follow that standard, you feel that you are doing the thing that satisfies you. Because you are doing something, you don't have to think that this is the right word. Someone else tried it. Someone else before tried this method and found that successful. So as the person who's working on it, you will be happy that this will give you the result. We want to see best practices has been implemented in our organization. And normally the organization has capabilities to increase for the best practices. I mean, you have to increase your capability by achieving best practices. And how do you find out where are you now? By looking at the outcomes and measure and according to KPIs. So you'll have outcomes from each project, and these outcomes you will be able to say, based on my KPIs, I am improving. So you have the two ends to it. Capability increases the maturity of the organization. The outcomes you will measure where are you going and how you are improving. This is quick list of items to see what are the benefits of standardization. It's very simple when we say improves process cycle time. When you do something, let's say for example, I did the earned value methodology. I did it many times. When I did it many times, it became for me, when I follow the procedure, while I'm reading, I'm checking that I'm following the procedure or the standard, but at the same time, in my mind, I know. It's just I'm making sure that I'm not following, I'm not leaving anything out. So by knowing the process, you will start cutting the time. Also, you have better reporting and measurement. Reduces error. If you do something many times, you get less errors. You know how to do it first time, you need more training to do the improvements. So reduces the training cost. Improves efficiency, generates predictable results, reduces performance variation, increases, and this I think it's important also, some people they don't realize it, but with standardization you find employees are more satisfied with the work. I don't want to go into theory too much, but I just put this slide quickly to show you that you could standardize your work based on projects, portfolio, or program. And the steps by going to standardize, you measure, you control, and then continually improve it. So you standardize certain processes, measure how are you doing with it, control the gaps between them, and every time go back and improve what you have done. So you repeat again. This, how do you standardize? What is the roadmap for standardization? The first step I consider standardization is a full transformation in the company. So you want to plan this transformation, it's change of strategy for the company. So you plan your transformation. Second one is determine the desired maturity level. And by saying that, what we mean, you want to see where I want to be. So determine your desired maturity, that you want to know where I'm going to be. Third step is where I am now. So assess your situation where you are. Then you select and prioritize your processes to improve standardization. Then implement, monitor, and review, and keep repeating the same process. This is the roadmap. There is a question before I go to the step. Some people say why we have to say where are we now, where we want to be, or we want to. Yeah, there is two schools of thought. Some people think that we need to know where are we now, and then where we want to be. Other schools thought that no, you have to say first where you want to be, and then think about where you now. And why is this discussion? Because people say, if I know where I'm now, and then I see there is a big gap, maybe this will stop me from going to this project. I mean, it's a change, it's a project. So if I know that I'm very far from my target, a lot of people will say, oh, let's forget it. This is going to be a very difficult job. So it's the first step. Many people think that it's better forget about where you now, think about where you want to be first. After that, after you agree that we want to be there, everybody's committed, then you go and find your status in where are you now, and then take the other steps. So first step is planning transformation. You have to prepare a plan, clarify the purpose, communicate to everybody, get the buy-in from the people, who will be doing what, you will identify the people who is involved, define how you want the information, how you want to put the sharing, how the information will be shared among everybody. Then here, as I said, where do we want to be? So you said this is my target. I set my target where I want to be. And in this case, you need to engage your internal stakeholders so that you will think about all the priorities for this organization. Develop a map of desired outcomes and process need to be delivered. And this is actually the maturity model you want to work on. One more step, which is assess your current status. And here you go back and find a checklist for all the processes and evaluate yourself against them. Which one I'm practicing, I'm exercising, which one I'm not. Then identify the gap and create a baseline for your projects to measure the improvements against it. What can we standardize? Pretty much everything. You need to standardize everything. So it is important that you don't do it all at once. You have to prioritize. You have to think which is first important to and critical to my business. Then here, selecting and prioritizing processes. So as I said, that you will select to find which is more important for me. Implementation, and different companies go differently about implementation, but this is just of suggested ways of doing it. You think about all the best practices you have, review it with the experts in your company, and get their buy-in. Then try some projects, test them. Also, someone will come and say, my project is small, do I have to follow the standard? Yes, you have to put different methods for different sizes of projects. You have to implement to all. I mean, when I start now, maybe some of the projects already in the started. Maybe we say these will not start with them, but every new project has to start. Otherwise, we'll never continue. If you stop or you don't implement on any of the project, other people take excuse. My project, like this project, why do you have to take all the hassle? So you have to roll out and put a strategy that all new projects has to be used, has to be implemented, that standardization. That, for example, we have a good planning section. We can standardize planning and value methodology, WBS structuring. So once people see that you are winning, then they will be encouraged to continue. So it's important to say we are starting on this path. Once you do that and prioritize and start getting wins, I think it will be easy after that to continue.